Welcome to the Rugs to Riches show. Grab a drink and get comfortable. The live show is about to start.
What up? Let's see if I can adjust this. Okay, here we go. What up, everybody? It's just me. So if you don't have questions for me, it might be a boring show. Arborist might drop by. I haven't heard from him in a couple hours. About an hour and a half ago, AG told me he wasn't going to make the show because he has a function with his children. So instead of canceling the show, I just figured I would come on and say hi and we can talk. If people have questions, I can try to answer them. If somebody wants to come on, I can shoot you the link out through Telegram and you can join me. Adam might be dropping by. He's got some conspiracy theories we're supposed to go over. Arborist might drop by. He's got some crypto news. Other than that, what the hell's going on? Ethereum hits all-time high yesterday. We think we're riding high, and wham! All those people that control the money had to take all the money from the people that were going long and going short, it looks like. So what's going on, everybody? What you drinking? I got a not sponsored Ace High. I wish I would have been able to make that invisible, but that's just the way it was. So whales dumping. More than whales, my man. More than whales. That's institutional whales dumping on everybody. So KR, you put something in chat yesterday or something? A whale sold like $17 billion or $7 billion worth of not sponsored. But Ace Cider, if you would like to reach out to the show and talk to us, I would be glad for a sponsor. This is the peach. Pretty solid. That's what I was drinking last week. But anyway, DeFi IRA still doing its thing. We have a treasury buying every single day. We have our concentrated liquidity doing pretty good. We're doing that every single. We're making money every single month on that. So we're just buying IRA. So if you're worried about being the last buyer of IRA, you're never that. So the best time to buy is yesterday. Second best time to buy is right now. So go out and grab your IRA. Go out and grab your Velocity. Remember, we have the little cycle there. If you buy Velocity and hold it, you get IRA. Just remember, you need 10,000 Velocity to do that. If you hold IRA, you get ETH. KR pointed out in chat earlier, Ethereum, if you stake your Ethereum, you only earn 3%. Last year, IRA gave you 6% in ETH just for holding IRA, and IRA outpaced ETH by 40x. So if you converted your ETH to IRA August of last year, you would be up 40x on your ETH, and you would have received 6% of ETH. So that's pretty cool. Something's going on crazy in my background, so I don't know if I drop off or something. I'll freeze. Maybe I can do a double, just the tip. But let me go see who's all here. Antihero, welcome as always. KR, welcome. Aaron, welcome. Aaron, when are you going to Mexico? Dennis, welcome. So whale dumping. I'm telling you, man. I mean, we're solid. We're still, I think, with the ETH dump today, it pulled down under 3 million, but I mean, that's pretty solid. We thought it would take us a year to get to 1 million, and we made it to almost 4 million. I think 3.8 million was our high so far, so that's pretty solid. pretty solid. We got some things in the background working. Yes, I can try to do a duck race today. I'll try to write down as I go. I'll try to write down everybody that is talking to me, and we can do a duck race. We can do a duck race as always. Quack quack. So I don't know how much you guys are going to want to listen to me just ramble. What's some topics I can talk about, guys? My work. My work was work. That's why it's called work. I did get up at 5:30 this morning, so I have met that goal. Went to the beach, sat at the beach with my wife. She went to the beach with me this morning, so that was nice. We watched a one-legged seagull hop around the beach. That was kind of good. Got me thinking, if you had to lose an appendage, what appendage would you want to lose? I thought as a bird, missing a foot is probably where you want to land, right? You don't want to miss an eye if you're a bird. That'll give you depth perception problems. You don't want to break a wing or lose a wing. Can't lose a beak. So if you got to lose something, I figured a foot wouldn't be so bad. He kept trying to stick his missing foot on the ground. It's kind of funny and kind of sad. But he was awful fat, so it didn't seem like he was not eating or anything like that. I figured since he was hanging out by us, he gets sympathy from people because he's missing a foot and they keep feeding him. So, Dennis, I got Dennis, Aaron, Grace. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to write as we go, so hopefully I won't miss anybody. All right. Aaron, Mexico in a few weeks. When are we going to post another beach video? I don't know, man. Some of those I need inspiration. So the last what? Yeah, I'm online right now. Thank you. So I don't know. I need it. Sometimes when I'm sitting there, I get inspiration and I ramble on. Sometimes I don't. So been trying to get up every day. Last week I got up at 6, so this morning I got up at 5:30. So I did go to bed awful early last night though too. I did have what's called Amp Guard. It's a medieval reenactment this weekend. So went and watched my friends hit each other with sticks. I had a bunch of friends from Tennessee come down. It was nice to see those guys. But all in all, it was good. Let's see here. Don't forget Aaron. I got Aaron this time. That means I have to put her in the thing, though. I think that Anti-Hero is just trying to get me to forget so that I re-race and she can win again. That I can do. Okay, I can do that. 15 or 30 seconds of calm before the day. Good news on. Dennis said got good news on his VI rating went up from 50 to 80. Congratulations. More money from the government is great. As some of you guys know, Dennis had neck surgery like 8 weeks ago. Pretty crazy. I don't know. He said I could show you his x-rays, but I don't know how to get them from my phone to here. I'll have to wait until from when AG's here. I can send him to AG. He knows how to do all that stuff. KR, I did not take any pictures. I did not take any pictures from Renaissance Day. So if you're listening and you don't know what I do a medieval reenactment. It's called LARPing, live action role play. If you've ever seen the movie Role Players, is that what it's called? Role Models. It's a lot like that, but then it's not a lot like that. We do have some people that act just like that, though. But I like to believe that's not what I act like. But that's probably what I look like to the outside people. It's fun. We go into the woods for a couple days. We have lots of cervezas. Saturday, I did pretty good. I drank a lot of vodka. I drank a lot of bitch beer. I found a good rhythm. I drank a cup of vodka and then a bench beer and then a cup of vodka and a bitch beer. I was at the liquor store at 9:30 in the morning, so that was good. And Hero said, also got good news today. Got the approval from the state to register for the bar exam. Well, that's good news, and hopefully you pass. Are you worried about passing? I got you covered, my man. Check this out.
told the kid to make me one. And he said, "No, I'm not making you one." I said, "You got to." I couldn't get him to make me one.
I don't know. It's reflected, but
It's got a bill on it, even. Beautiful.
yeah.
That's great.
So, welcome to the show, Haaga. Adam Haaga. I don't know what you want to go by.
Yeah, it's
So,
either or. I just put that in there for fun, I guess. But yeah, appreciate the invite. That's pretty.
so thanks for coming on. Like we invited you last week when we thought AG was going to be on, but he literally called me. Like he literally called. Well, he actually called me a little earlier, but I was on the phone and I couldn't answer. But he called me back and I answered. And he's all like, "Man, I'm really sorry about the late notice, but I can't be on the show tonight." And I'm like, "Nah, Adam's coming on. I'm sure Arborist will show up in like 45 minutes when we're about to take off." So
yeah, or when you lose connection and can't do anything.
So in chat, Adam is our resident conspiracy theorist. We're not going to say they are or are not legit. He's going to give us some facts or not facts, and you're going to have to make up your own mind. But it's funny. Today, I had a new employee start with me who may or may not be a flat earther. So he actually brought up some really good points, man. Like I've never actually, I don't want to say debated. Like if you ask me if the world is flat, I'm going to tell you no. Right? I'm a earther, a rounder, but I don't know, what do flat earthers call earth rounders besides dumb and
globe tards? That's at least where I'm from. That's what we call them.
Globe tards.
Globe tards.
Globe tards. I like it. Oh shit! Let me see. How do I get this damn thing off? Oh, there it is. All right, take that off. So let's start with flat Earth. Give me your spiel. Convince me why the Earth is flat.
Well,
did we land on the moon? That was a conversation we had today too, KR. He said no. I'm easier to be convinced. I'm easier convinced that we did not land on the moon.
If that one convinces you, the rest of them are the easy part to believe. If you believe we never went to the moon, the rest of it's easy. Well, you think about it, like, so NASA's daily budget, what do they spend, and what is this moon tale that they tell us? What it costs the taxpayers, like $60-some million a day, and that's all tax shit.
What?
So, oh yeah, you look it up. What the daily budget for like NASA, the like biggest hoax we've known to mankind. That's what we as taxpayers pay for, and we haven't been back there, like. But then the funny question always with the moon landing is like, well, who was there that took the video and the picture when this fucking thing was landing? Like, oh, is this arm that stuck out of the, But it's like there's so many. I guess when you're, not to be like too biased one way or the other, because of course, growing up, you're told to believe things. So it's just when you look at things differently, you either believe it or you don't. I guess it's just how, So whether there's proof or fact, there is a lot, but yet. Like the biggest one for me, like with the flat Earth, let's say. So I work in construction, right? And so like we do things where like they've come and they test our floors sometimes on how flat and level they are, because the forklifts, in some of them warehouses are going to be running with 3-4 pallets high, however fast they can go to get it stacked and go. So if they're running down the rumble strips, like that ain't good. So they come and they test that like flat level. And then they test the finish. There's FF and FL numbers on like a floor, so to speak. Well, so if you put that into like, like water, like I've struggled to keep, water in the whole theory behind like the globe and everything in like where we live on in reality senses, water seeks its own level, and we work with level. Well, what's level is the same height, so to speak, in relation. There's way more better terminology than what I can put on this. So like but in terms of like just thinking about it, if I have to shoot to make sure water's going to run away from a house, with any slab I'm pouring, so if it's level, water's going to seek its own level, and it's either going to go this way or that way. But if I make sure it's got 3 inches of slope going that way, well, it's not level anymore, and the water goes that way. It's dry up here, and the water goes well. So if we were like this, well, now we're spinning, so that keeps the water Yeah, okay. Get a basketball wet and spin it really fast. That's the easiest way to dry it off. Not keep it wet. So it when you start to just think about like that in general of just everyday things and how that would really work, you kind of start to question it. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna be convinced back that it's round again
So
because so
so Adam, you brought up a very interesting point because that's what he kind of got me with today, right? Is so in surveying, um, we do level runs, right? So it's funny. So we take elevation from one point and we transfer it to another point, right?
sure.
Through a
Yep.
series of
Yep.
events, right? Usually through equipment, right? Well, you can use a lake if the lake is calm, if it's right, because a lake, as you said, is flat, right? So if I can shoot the top of the lake and then run around to the other side of the lake, I can shoot the top of the lake that's the same, right? So
Yep.
in surveying, we can use a lake as as a means of transferring level from one place to another, right? And I said, we were talking about it. And I said, he was talking about lasers and shooting them across the lake. And I said, he's like, how come if the Earth is, and they shoot it across a giant lake? I said, well, it's not going to fall that far. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, that's because the lake is already flat. He's like, right. He's like, so what about the ocean? If the ocean is seeking to be level, how does it go around the globe? And I'm like, fuck, man, he said that. I was like, like he led me. It was so funny because he's obviously had this conversation with people, and he just let me lead myself to the God damn it.
Right. Right. Well,
So
like that. That's a perfect example because sea level is the coasts. No matter what part of the United States or where you're on, they talk about sea level. Well, that's zero. So if you're in mainland,
yeah,
you're either 1,500. Well, so level is in California, Washington, all the way around that level. Like you said, you can transfer it across that lake. Well, now the
yeah,
that's the lake, and you're just transferring it across. Well, then where do you start to make it's like they tell you, I don't know the actual calculations, but yeah, there should be so much curvature so far out you
yeah,
go. Yeah, you can shoot a laser beam 5 times that said distance and hit the same height in relation, the level mark. Well, it's the 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 arithmetic and all the calculations all prove it or all point it to flat, but it's just like the biggest denied. I think that I don't know.
yeah.
The
I
world map.
mean,
If you look at the world map that they show, I think it's either at like NATO or at one of the big hubs for like transportation. It's a flat Earth. It's a flat map. It's a lot of the things that they show are flat. Like the globe in relation to like the scale of the mass of the land, how big it is, isn't even correct when you look at a globe. The Greenland and Mexico are portrayed as this size and this size when in fact they're not even close. They're opposite. The one's smaller than the other. And well, why do they do that? Because it fits better on that circular you know deal. But it makes no sense, I guess. But that's there could be better
yeah,
argument to say that it is round and gravity holds us in and does all this. But it's it's a fun one to talk about for sure.
yeah. So KR asked why a boat disappears when it goes out to sea. Dennis said it gets smaller and smaller just because it's going farther away or it's actually dropping. I think Dennis and I was talking. Dennis, were we talking and how much is it per mile? It's only we looked. I think Dennis and I was talking about this not too long ago too. It's so weird that like all of a sudden in the last 3 weeks I've had all these conversations about flat Earth. It's so the Matrix theory where you start talking stuff and that shit starts coming up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so now when I don't go on Facebook very often, but when I go on Facebook again tomorrow, I'm going to have the flat Earth theory in my feed. I know that.
A lot of that's Google too. Google hones in on you. Like you'd be talking with somebody in a conversation and you don't
Yeah.
even get home and the ads are popping up. It's like, you see like they used to wait like a day and make it inconspicuous, kind of like, we listened to you yesterday and we're gonna sell you this shit today because we know you want it. And now they don't even they impulse buy you like, oh, you want, yeah, you're gonna have it now. Like, yep, put the card number in. Let's do this. It's like they don't hesitate anymore. Ask.
8 inches per mile squared. So it says per mile squared, but if it's 1 squared, it's 1. So if it's 2 squared, it would be 4. So it's what? I don't understand that. 8 inches per mile squared. I think when we looked it up, they said it's basically 8 inches per mile. So every mile you go, the curvature, it's supposed to go down 8 inches. Yes, according to Google. But you can look it up for yourself and see if you can find a better thing. But it says 8 inches per mile squared. So I don't know what that means. But when we look further, they said basically it's 8 inches per mile. So for every mile, it's supposed to drop. But that's got to be like out to sea, because that can't be on land, because over a mile, it could go up in elevation more than 8 inches, right? There's nowhere you're going. Like even in Florida, shit. When we live in Tampa, we live on the coast. So when you go to the beach, it's 0. I mean, here, if we drive a mile, I think I'm about a mile from the beach. And I think we're elevation like 16. So we're 16 feet above. So that has to be out to sea. So every mile you go out to sea, it drops 8 inches, right? So they say.
Well, yeah, so they say, I guess.
I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can do a, because I bet on our beach, I bet we could see a mile. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if we could do a thing, because didn't those flat earther people do a fucking thing with light or something, and they could?
Oh yeah,
they were supposed to be able to see it.
I've seen multiple ones where they've shot. Well, even them badass cameras that they've got now, them Nikon 900 somethings that can zoom in. But I've seen the laser beams like 20 some miles. I think I've seen them go out 26 miles, and yeah, and it should be like 500 and some feet or something like that at the 8 inches a mile. Or, at the calculation, like it should have been not even. But Crypto Flyer, like he should have a good idea, because like I've always wondered with pilots, like when they're like when you go a mile, then you push on the stick, because otherwise you'd keep rising. If you get up there, does the autopilot, push the yoke so that you keep the nose down every mile? You got to compensate for the curve to go around, or does she fly flat across? Because like
see that he said that too, right? So I did want to ask Crypto Flyer about that, because he brought that up. He said if you're flying Mach 1, which is what, like 1,000 miles per hour or some shit, right? So every mile is supposed to be going down 8 inches. But how, Crypto Flyer, because he's on here, and so he would be a good one. Crypto Flyer, how does that work? How does like the altimeter know? Like, is it relative to what? Sea level? How does it keep your altitude at what? And since you're going to be in air, you're not going to notice fucking 8 inches anyway, right? I mean, how far do you, when you hit turbulence, how far do you drop in the air? Like when it's like a bad turbulence, do you not like fall like feet?
Sure feels like it when you're
Hopefully
flying.
he's still on. He said he had a funny story. What your time is?
Gotta get him on here doing a live one when he's up in the air. And
well, that's a good question. So the other thing that yeah, right. So the other question, so that's a good question, Dennis. So he said the question my helper said is, how come nobody circumnavigates the globe north to south? They only go east to west. Right? So when you fly, you never fly north and come back, you never go this way.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, and some flight paths, they've shown charts on that where a flight that has like a mid stop in relation to where it would be on like the globe would be like a way out of the way to the point, but on the flat Earth map, it's straight over to the other point and then back again. Like but on the globe, the points would make it like way out of the way, and so it's Mm-hmm.
Man, too many questions. We need to have Flyer on. Flyer, text me. Text me if you want to come on the show. Do you want to come talk to us? You'd be a good person to have on the show too.
That's why it's so
says,
heavily debated either way, because there's so much in anything,
Yeah. So Dennis says, you're telling me at sea level changes in a mile by 8 inches. So if I walk up the beach for a mile, my sea level is going to be 8. No, that's not what we're saying.
No.
No matter how much you walk up the beach, the water should always be the same. And that's like, you know what? That's not true. Because when we do, Dennis, when we do beach surveys, what are those called? When we do beach surveys, they have polling stations which tell us what the mean high water is, which is the average height of that tide because it's tidal. But that changes depending on where you are. I'm gonna have to ask my damn surveyor about that. See if he knows.
Tidal is
So
like
that's all
high
right. So
tide on one
flat.
side of the flat. It's high tide on one side and low on the other, and then it rocks back the other way, and it's high tide over there and back on the other. Because if we were spinning, it would be a constant tide, so to speak. But when you rock the boat a little bit, like you think about it.
So let's see. Your flyer says, so if it is because it gets smaller, why if it has disappeared over the horizon and take off and not fly towards? Oh wait, hold on. So if it's because it gets smaller, why if it has disappeared over the horizon and I take off, and didn't fly towards it, but I will see it again. Okay. So all right, I think I got that. So Flyer is saying if a ship is going out to sea and disappears, he can't see it. When he takes off, it gets higher, but isn't going towards the boat. He can see it again, right? So Dennis said as it goes out, it just gets smaller because it's farther away and we can't see it anymore. And Crypto Flyer's like, well, that doesn't make sense because if I go up in the air, I can now see it again, right? So if it was smaller because of distance and he goes, up, he actually should be able to see it because of that. But when he goes up, because he's going higher than that curvature, he can now see it again. That's a good point, Flyer. I like that. I'll bring that up to my damn helper tomorrow.
That's a good one.
So, round north, southeast. What? Dennis, that doesn't make sense. What does that mean? So again, this is in reference to us traveling. So Flyer, they do that because the Earth is spinning, right? So when they fly, which way does the Earth spin? Right? So it spins lefty loosey, righty tighty. Which way does the Earth? So hold on, the sun comes up. So it's got to spin this way, which would be like, I don't know what that fucking means. It spins west to east, right? Because that's why time zones go east to west, right? Does that make sense?
Maybe.
You following me? Time zones go down, right? Because we're spinning this way.
Right.
Shit. Now I've lost what my fucking train of thought was.
It's a local sun, and when it goes up here, it gets light, and over there it gets dark.
I don't know about all that.
And so then, like another thing on the, not to get like political or biblical or in any regards to that, because it's the last thing a person wants to ever do when you're talking about it and having a good conversation, is like offend anyone or anybody's beliefs or anything in that regard. Right. So it's not that's like not a ever an intention, or shouldn't be an issue, because it should just be just a fun banter, or so to speak. So just to make sure just that everybody, anybody out there, that they know that, and stuff. But in a biblical reference, deferment is mentioned numerous times in the Bible, just for instance. So take that as it may on your beliefs, for, against, whatever it may be. But in terms of something that's considered to many something sacred and such, it's just something that they're willing to like overlook in terms of but everything else is applicable, except maybe that, for instance, and such. So it's it is there is more than just conspiracies about it. I mean, there is some biblical stuff that kind of dates it too. So it's yeah, it really just makes you
Yeah,
wonder is what it does.
he said that too. But I guess that's the different. What's the all right, KR and anti-hero with your grok. What's firmament? What does the firmament mean? That's like a lid, right? Is that what firmament
Yep,
means?
the waters
Lid?
above and below. Yep. It's like when Elon goes up, he skirts some rockets around there. They don't know if he's trying to just show it to us or if he's trying to break through it. Because when you watch a boat go across the lake and you watch how it cuts a wake and okay, now you watch when Elon's sending them up there, he's like skirting the firmament and it. You watch the videos, it looks just like a boat driving across the lake, but it's supposed to be a rocket going through the sky. Well, so they don't know if he's trying to break through it or if he's just trying to like show it to us, so to speak. If that makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Think about that
So
for a
you're
second.
saying he keeps breaking rockets to prove that there's a ceiling.
He's just hoping eventually it pays off, but he's too crazy to. I don't know. I used to not like him. Kind of liked him. Don't like him. He's one of those guys that I'm just not. I don't think you could ever really trust if it came down to it because I'm not sure. He's weird. He's weird. He is. He's maybe really smart, but yet he's really kind of dumb at the same time too. So I don't know. But I mean,
Well, I've always found like the smartest people are smart in like aspects, but then they're really dumb in other things. Like
yeah.
my uncle is like if he did like a IQ test, he's probably off the fucking charts. But he is literally one of the dumbest people I know.
Mhm.
Like he is stupid smart when it comes to rocket science and computers and crap like that. But but he's 75 and he wrecks his motorcycle and breaks 5 ribs, because he was driving through sand with street tires. So
Yeah. Yep.
oh, there you go. What's your thoughts on the CERN collider? Did they skip us to a parallel universe when they
Well, so
when they
that
turned it
brings
on?
us. Yeah. Well, yeah. That brings into like the Mandela effect conspiracy or talk because
100.
so like in 2000 was it 2011 when the CERN when it reacted. So the world
Huh?
it ended, and the smartest I forget they say this. This is just one of the. I got many, so I just kind of throw the one that I kind of think is the most. Uh, it can happen, but yet
All
So
right, hold on before you say yours. All right, so if you're not familiar with the Mandela effect, what it means is that things that you believe to be 100% true are not actually true anymore, right? So if you actually search them, like for instance, what does Snow White say when she's talking to the mirror? Okay, so nobody look it up. Okay, so this will depend on how old you are. Type in chat what Snow White says to the mirror. So it's blah 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 blah
yeah.
blah blah, right?
And don't read. Try not to read the
Don't
other
don't
chats. Just try to just
yeah
yep. First one that
yeah
comes to your head, put it in.
whatever you think she says, because this is a big one. This is one that we can all kind of relate to. And then I'll tell you the ones that I just heard another one today that I agree with too. But so the Mandela effect is you believe one thing to be true, or there's a group of people, usually depending upon age, believes it to be something on the to be one way, but it's actually another way. So we have a couple people. Dennis, you're probably the same age as them. Do we have any younger people? Aaron, are you still watching? I don't know how old you are, but I feel like you're probably one of the younger people. What Aaron, what did Snow White say to the mirror? How young are you, Antiera? I thought you were. Or how much younger are you? Wait, how old's KR? I don't know how KR. I knew that you're younger than KR. Adam, how old are you?
41.
You're 41.
Yeah.
Damn, you're a young. How old's your kid? Is he playing with fantasy
20.
football with us?
He just turned 20.
Just
Yeah,
turned
he's in.
20.
Yep.
Wait. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed. I know you're younger than KR. Damn it! But I don't know how old KR is. I knew you were. Okay, so Aaron says same as mirror mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? All right. Does anybody else want to levy a thing? Dennis, what do you think? Flyer, are you still in here? What do you remember? Remember it. I know, and I'm not supposed to ask lady their ages. That's the problem. All right. So, Adam, what do you remember Snow White saying?
The mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the
Fairest of them
them
all.
all? Yep,
Okay,
yep.
so we all agree. All five, the people, we have 5 people say stuff. All right. So anti-hero, ask Rock what Snow White says to the mirror. And type what it says. Anti-hero, what is this? What is it? What does it say? What does Grok say it says? Have you looked up the video yet? I wish I knew how to do all that. Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
And none of us, 5 different people, not one of us believe that. We all believe it's mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yep.
So that's an example.
One of them.
That's
one
an example.
Yep.
Yeah. Of what the Mandela effect is. And it's named the Mandela effect because a lot of people remember Mandela dying in prison. But other people, if you look it up right now, he actually got out and became president and did a bunch of crap or something and then died.
Yeah.
KR, what the F is magic mirror? So that's what the Mandela effect is.
And like
if you actually look it up, there's hundreds of them. You'll be surprised.
It'll happen with your physical stuff you have. Like if you if there's one that you like remember that you just happen to remember. Like for instance, I had a Queen CD, the Greatest Hits CD, right? And so as a wrestler, so they'd play the We Are the Champions song for like the Walk of after for like the awards ceremony. Like almost every Saturday when I was a kid, from age like 5 to like 13, like you heard that song right over the years and years and years. So I had that CD, and the ending of one of those songs I heard on the radio, and I'm like, what in the fuck is this? Like it wasn't the same. Well, so I popped the CD in. It ended the same way as it did on the radio, and it was not. And so I started asking people, and sure enough, they'd sing it in their head, and it just, it's this awkwardness. But the ending, if you sing the song in your head, the We Are the Champions song, just end the song in your head, and what is the last line of the song? How does it end? And then you hear it now, it ain't. It's creepy. This whole Mandela thing is creepy.
So of the world, right? Of the world. That's isn't that a lot?
Yeah, not anymore. I was the same as not anymore. It's there's like 11 seconds of just weird like that sound, and there's no of the world anymore. It's it's a crazy one. Or the Pillsbury Doughboy. What color is his dealy womp, his thingy? Is blue or white? Like there's so many of them. Yeah, what it is.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's white now.
His bandana or whatever you want to call it. How can it be white? Isn't he white?
Yeah.
Well, how can it be white?
And the Berenstein Bears, that's
that's
the cartoon ones, But like, there's other, like, it's
no. Anti-hero. He's talking about his bandana around his neck. Pillsbury Doughboy. So the one I just heard was the pizzas that you would get. What are those called? What's like the cheapest? They cost $1. They're like this big, right? And you stick them in the oven when you're a kid. You know what I'm talking about? They have pizza bites now too, or huh?
The Tostinos, right?
What?
You're talking party pizzas?
Yeah. What is it called?
Tostinos.
Yeah, can you spell that?
I always says Tostinos. Tostinos.
It's not. Well, I agree with you.
Right.
Tostitos. TOST whatever. No, it's Totinos now. TOT no S.
See, that's a recent one. Then that's one that must have been
Yeah.
just yeah, yeah.
So,
It's creepy when you can
so
sit down, with honest people and just go through them and yes, and it's like yeah, it's too weird. It is. It's like
yeah,
yeah,
so like somebody said that the other day. I'm like, no, I just bought one of those. I just bought one of those. And no crap. When I went to the damn store yesterday, I looked at sure as shit. It's Totino's, Tot, no S.
but like
That's
some
so
of the
crazy,
theories
man.
behind that is with the so in the
Oh,
CERN when that thing blew up, the world it ended like game over, right? So like 12 or so many of these people that are the smartest, most advanced minds in history went back in time, stopped the event, stopped the reactor from ending the world, so to speak, and it caused a ripple, right? Because like to some it ended, and to some so whatever there's a ripple, and so we're either living. It's like with the doppelgangers. It's like, is it a doppelganger? Is it the realities crossing, or like the Flash that show? Like if it's on TV and there's a movie about it, there's a good chance it's probably like happening, or it could happen, or it's like because that's kind of like how it relates to a lot of that stuff. So a lot of them shows that they look far fetched aren't so far fetched because like it's the shit is around us, like the weather, like the big one now, like with recent, that's kind of undeniable because it was a conspiracy theory, right? It was they're playing with our weather, and oh, you're crazy, you're crazy. Well, yeah, who's the crazy ones now? Because like that mullet wearing guy down in Texas that stood there and straight up said that he's trying to play God, and he was fine with it, and they can take 1 pound of product and make 40 million pounds of rain fall out of the sky, and we wonder why we're getting these biblical floods every other year, or every other week in some locations, for crying out loud. And we're not messing with the weather. Yeah, BS to that, and it's proven. And now there's records and there's funding. There's actual data. Like we're follow the money. Well, when the government's funding it, or when there's certain programs that are being funded, the documents are there. Well, deny that. Like I said, that's that one I'm a firm believer on is not a conspiracy because it's proven, it's debunked, and it's happening. And so like,
yeah.
and that's just one of the many that makes you start to think, well, we've been lied to for how long? What the hell else do they lie about? And it
Yeah.
blows your
Did
mind.
I did I about everything for sure? But yeah, that was. I mean, that hurricane. Like, listen, I've lived in Florida my entire life, and that hurricane that started in Mexico and came across the Gulf and hit us. Never, never, ever has a hurricane started in Mexico. Now they've come from Africa, swirled, and then came back through. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Or came
yep,
across and then built up and went back across. But
yep.
never has it just out of nowhere come out of Mexico. Come on now.
Yeah,
They're just
location,
trying to.
like location is, for like the Tuscaloosa, Alabama tornado, and the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. Okay, so I think it was the Moore one. 2 nights before that, like so, Family Guy. So a lot of these conspiracy theories are tied into like they tell you about it before they do it because it's a game to these people. Like, it's they're going to show us and then they're going to do it. Okay, so on the cartoon Family Guy, the Stewie told Brian they had to find the remote because he had to watch the Weather Channel because there's going to be severe storms in the Midwest, and he wanted to watch the less fortunate pick up all they had left. That was like the clip of him in the cartoon episode, right? So then, what do you see on the news right after this big ass tornado wiped out this town? You see, minorities or people that work really hard for the little that they had that is laying now in the yard or the neighbor's yard, so to speak, and they're out there picking up whatever they had left. Exactly like it says, right? Okay, so then now you apply that to the Boston Marathon bombing and Family Guy again 2 days before the Boston Marathon. It was portrayed on the show, so it's like the location of the storms is what they use, right? So the Doppler radar stations produce these pulses, and this is a big one that they use to help debunk and prove that they are messing with the weather because the signatures that these abnormalities show on the radar isn't they're coming from somewhere, and now we know where they're coming from. So these Doppler radar stations emit frequencies and they do things to the air. Well, in Moore, Oklahoma, if you take a Doppler station and draw a circle, you take another Doppler station and draw a circle, and then another third circle, More Oklahoma sits right in the middle of where those 3 circles overlap and cross themselves. And then it's like, well, location. The rich and the upscale neighborhoods were untouched, so to speak, but the lower income and the minority neighborhoods were just pummeled. Well, how the hell does Mother Nature know to pick a line and stay over here and over there? Like, I mean, I grew up in the country in Minnesota. Like, we used to watch weather come from miles away because it was a fascinating thing. Well, now they tell us 3 hours ahead of time or 2 days ahead of time in a line from mile marker 55 to mile marker 89. You're going to see 1 to 8 inches of snow from a time to they peg it. They know so much that I don't care what type of technology that they have, they cannot predict Mother Nature. So there's no way, unless they're playing a role in it, that they could have been so accurate over time, but yet so wrong, because the weatherman can say whatever the hell they want to. Partly sunny with a chance of rain. It's going to be breezy at times. I mean, you cover all the bases, you get your check, and then everybody's day is fucked up because you're trying to plan something. Well, now it's raining, and he said it wasn't going to rain, but he did say there was a chance. So you really can't be mad at the guy. It's like, what's the fun world we live in, But so you just got to think for yourself. That's where a lot of these conspiracies come from, is just stopping and thinking. And it's like, well, wait a minute. The traditional system they told us doesn't make sense, or whatever it is. So like, that's how I learned, just thinking, And the aliens, I see the aliens as that's a good one, because they don't extraterrestrials. They don't like to be called aliens. Please call them extraterrestrials.
Before we get to aliens,
they take offense to
Dennis and I have been surveyors forever, right? So we've worked on giant sites, and it's crazy because, like you said, you can see rain from fucking ever, right? So what we started learning is when we go on construction sites, they nuke everything, right? So now all we have is dirt, which is stupid hot because the sun's baking it, and you can see the heat waves. So you can actually see the heat waves coming off these construction sites, and rain will actually bend around our construction site. We call them rain bubbles because the heat is going up, and it's the because it's colder, but it's so hot above the construction site that the rain will come and just like right around the construction site.
Daryl Waltrip used to say the same thing for the NASCAR fans out there when they were racing at Talladega or Daytona. Like, if rain was ever coming, they didn't want to see a caution flag, or he wanted to keep them fuckers wound up, because doing 200 and something miles an hour around the track, they'd create enough of a vortex. That same thing you're saying, it would push any rain coming at it around the track, and they could keep racing. But if they ever had a caution or shit, and you could watch it literally close in on them, and then it was like, it would be raining and they couldn't get going. So that's funny that you mentioned that, because it's like everybody always thought Daryl Waltrip was a lunatic for saying that. But like, how real is it? Like, that
does make sense. I mean, because they're Daytona's 2.5 miles around. Yeah. But man, I went to Daytona when I was like 12 or 13. You cannot turn your head fast enough to see those cars. They're going so fast. Like, they're like there, and then they're there. It's like, right. So yeah, they have enough of those fuckers driving around in circles. That makes sense. Huh. A little vortex all around. Aliens. Is the lady on the lady on the flight that was screaming about the reptiles, right?
Yeah, there's like 7 species of so it's in government files too, which will blow your mind, because they just it's like they say conspiracies, but yet the government doesn't have sealed documents about conspiracies. They become conspiracies because people find out information that they weren't supposed to, and then that's all. They just so now it's a conspiracy because we were only told. But the stuff they lie to us over and over again that is not correct isn't a conspiracy, even though it is. But the big one with the extraterrestrials is that's like the experts in the field, so to speak, if it's a real thing. But to some it is, and they've got a lot of proof showing it. So they like to be called extraterrestrials because aliens is like the offensive like terminology or whatever it is. Like, it's a serious thing, and they won't come. So Richard Greer, he's the correspondent for like the government. Like, so he has an app that you can join. On.
Richard Greer, the actor?
No.
Oh,
no, it's spelled different. No,
it's all like, wait, the actor, the one with the gerbil?
No, not the actor. No, he writes the government like communication programs to speak to the ETs, and so he has he has an app that for like-minded people, it's like a networking app where within a city, if there's other believers, or people that, you have to, it's something where like if you ever want to like have the chance, you can communicate, anybody and everybody can communicate with them if you can meditate, if you can get to that point in your mind, and shut everything else out, right, and be in that place like of just, I'm unable to do it. I've tried, trust me, and I either fall asleep or, but I can't get to that bliss, or right, that deep state of, but they say anybody can do that. You 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 start to think, and they they're advanced beyond wildest, so they know, and they'll come to you, but you can't be scared. And it's crazy if you look at it that way, and then you see people that don't look like they're blowing smoke, like this is something that they have happened, and they've got some information that would blow your mind, that it's like, well, where did they get that, or how do they even know that? And it comes from somewhere, well, advanced years ahead of our knowledge. And I firmly believe that, they're, and when they say that they are coming, it's like that's the next, that's what Anti-Hero says there, that's the next like tactic in the game is drones or images that are going to be looked at as just motherships everywhere, that they're going to start blowing out of the sky, but they're not there, but they're going to destroy everything else in the process, or whoever they want,
Hmm.
wherever they want, type of thing, which is another one of, there's many conspiracies. There's so many, you could spend days and weeks talking about and
Oh yeah,
just
for
touching
sure.
on them all. That's the fun part about it, because it opens up the discussion with,
So
that's
you
fun.
know, so we're talking about like the CERN collider or whatever, and the parallel universes, and so I had a thought one time. So I always, when I'm driving or I'm working in the woods or something, deep thought, because I can do thinking or whatever. So I was thinking, what if your dreams are really you just viewing the other yous in the other parallel universes, right? So you're dreaming, and it always feels like you're so like you're there, So
Yeah.
what if you're really, when you go to sleep, you're just waking up in another you that's experiencing another universe, right? But then it goes to sleep and you wake up,
Right.
or
Right.
whichever you are you.
Do you dream in color? Do you remember? Do you dream in color or black and white? They say that that's a,
It's color.
there's something with that too. That I
Yeah.
don't remember what it is, but something about that. But yeah, we all have psychic capabilities. So are we touching into our psychic capabilities, or are we seeing, like you said, is it a part of reality
So
that's in our other self?
so another friend of mine told me something that I didn't know. That, do you have an inner monologue? Like when you're thinking it, you can hear it, like your brain talks to you. Like not
Eh,
voices, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it's
I
an inner
mean,
dialogue. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was, yeah, I mean, I guess if it's, I talk to myself, so maybe whether it's inside or whether I'm actually, I guess that's hard for me. I would have to say, yeah, just based on how I think it thinks, but I don't hear the voices in my head. I more talk to myself, I guess.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Well, he told me that people don't have that. Like they don't have an inner monologue. Like they have to actively think different things. Like
No.
I can be thinking, but then my thinking thinks. Like, does that make sense?
Like you're talking and you have an idea in your head, but your thinker's fucking thinking, and then all of a sudden halfway through you go, well, that's because you just fucked
Yeah.
yourself. You didn't forget your original idea. You just fucked yourself because you tried to think it. That's your inner. I believe that totally, because it
like
happens. Like totally. That's why
so
Babel is
like
Babel, because it keeps freaking thinking. Like
but but that's what he said. Like he had to explain it to me. Like it to me, I that's like saying, I don't know. I like like I can't even fathom that people don't. So to me, I feel like, are you familiar with like the NPC theory?
NPC. No,
Yeah,
haven't
non-player
heard of that.
character. Do you know what okay? So do you play video games at all?
Not no, not much
Okay,
anymore.
or Dungeons and Dragons. Did you ever play that as a
No,
kid or
no,
anything?
no, no.
Okay,
Pogs had
so
Pogs.
in all right, so
Spanish
in
version.
games, like if you're playing a video game and you get money from something, and you go into a store and you buy something from the merchant, they're an NPC. Their only job is to sit there and wait until you come in, and then you interact with it. So
Okay.
it's a non-player character. Okay. Well, that's what's around us. So they say that really only 5% of the population are real souls or real people, and everybody else you're interacting with are non-player characters. So have you ever noticed, like, you always see the same person? They always look alike or whatever. It's because they are pretty much. So you're just recognizing that player character that was somewhere else. Right. So when you're going through the day and you're interacting with these people, they're not really people unless you really like my kids are real to me. My wife is, those, the people that you really, really know, those are real to you, but everybody else in the world is your non-player character.
Right. Makes sense.
Look it up.
I've seen it. Construction crews, ask anybody, the mason guy that mixes the mud for the block guys, he looks the same on every crew. He does.
Right. So I'll send you, I got one on Telegram. I got a picture. I can send it to you. About the NPC and how it works and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, look. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe the people that have inner monologue are the real people, and the people that don't are the NPCs.
Could be.
Like, I didn't. When he told me that people don't have an inner monologue or whatever, I was like, "What? I can't even comprehend that."
But I guess I have met some people that would make sense that they don't. There's not to say that they're like dumb or simple-minded. It's just that they don't overthink it, so to speak. You know what I mean? They stick, or whatever, I guess. But yeah, I could see it. Yeah, that's it. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'll send you the NPC thing on Telegram, Adam, when we get off. But yes, we're playing. Oh, it's actually poker time. Adam, you gonna play poker with us?
I gotta I didn't even shower yet when I got home, so I better do that and eat. She's got some shit ready, so I probably won't play tonight. I'd love to, but no.
Well, it's about that time. Hey, man, thanks for popping on. Because listen, I like babbling to myself and trying to answer questions, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the inner monologue can only catch up so fast.
Exactly. It's but no,
well, we'll have to do
you could have a weekly. You could do a bi-weekly, conspiracy segment, where people, because it's constantly evolving, so it's just something to stay with the loop and have people come in and if they want to pitch their conspiracy,
maybe we'll
come and do that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe like once a month we'll do conspiracy theory. I don't know what month, but sure. Hey, those that are watching that are here, we are not having a show next Monday. AG closes on his house on Thursday. Hey, brother, what's up? AG closes on his house on Thursday, and we'll be moving, so he'll be busy, and I'll be in Orlando next weekend. Hey, Leon, I'll be in Orlando next weekend if you want to catch up. So Monday we're not going to have a show, but we'll have a show. And hey, you know what? Anti-Hero and KR, y'all can run a show for us. I'll give you our logins. So, but anyway, Adam, Haaga 420, thanks for joining me, man. Hey, I got my special hat for you.
I love it. I love it. It's the first one I've seen with a bill. That's class right there. I love it. Top notch, sir.
So I figure that's what I'm known for. I'm known for wearing a hat. Oh, I should have wore it backwards. That's what I should have done.
You should have logoed that thing up, though. I was waiting to see.
I thought about that, I thought about that, but I made it kind of quick. I was like, damn it. And I said, we're going to do tinfoil hats. So let me make a tinfoil hat real fast. So, but hey, go back. Leon, what's your favorite conspiracy theory real quick? Oh shit. Duck race. Hold on. I got to do that. God damn it. Got to do duck race, and I got to put Aaron in. I think I got to give Aaron 2 ducks, but I missed her last week. Did anybody else jump in? Are you still here, Adam?
Yeah, but I can't see the screen I'm on. I can't see the comments.
Yeah, no. Oh, you can't see the comments?
Just when they pop up, the one that's highlighted or whatever.
Yeah, that's the ones that I send so you can see it. Hold on one second.
That's how that works.
I'm loading the duck race real quick. Anti-Hero, KR. Aaron's in. Dennis. Flyer. Haaga. Oop, Haaga. Leon. Let's see. Leon popped in. Anybody else? Dennis. Oh, JFK. Yeah, dude. Have you seen all those things between JFK and Lincoln? Like
And
they were
Oswald?
born exactly. No. Yeah, that's part of it. But they were born like 100 years apart. They got elected 100 years different. Lincoln's secretary was a Kennedy, and Kennedy's secretary is a Lincoln. Lincoln was shot in the Ford Theater. Kennedy was shot in a Ford named Lincoln. Oh yeah, KR did say this before. How's baby IRA coming?
It's to the point where when I say it's like ready this time, I'm gonna make so absolutely damn sure that it is.
Make
That
sure.
there's nothing's like so that it's like just I'm like doing different like tests where they like try to like attack it and shit in this one platform because I want to make damn sure and I don't want to like oh here we go and then now we're not going again. I just don't want that to happen. I feel like an idiot and feel terrible. So it's in progress. Don't get it's always happening. You know that whatever part NPC things always. So that's part of the problem too. Is you try to advance something rather than just to leave it alone and tune it. You know, just let it be
Yeah.
because it's good enough. You just now get it. So like once the guy figures that out, then you can really hone it in. So that's kind of like the process it's at right now. But it'll happen. Like but when it does, it's like everybody says, oh, it's good things come like to those who wait. But like it's a safety thing. It's not a thing for it's you know it's the people's money and a safety thing is the priority. So that's what the big holdup is. I just want to make sure. So
Yeah. All right. These are the people I have in. Anybody see anybody that's on the? Can y'all see the list? Adam, can you see the list?
yep. But I couldn't
All
see
right.
the comments, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So I think I tried to scroll back through. I added the own. Do I have Flyer in there? Is Flyer in there? Yeah,
Yep.
Flyer's in there. All right. We didn't have very many talking today. I think I got everybody.
Yeah, I'm
So
working on
Dennis
one of
mentioned the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia on the
Mandela. Yeah.
the Mandela effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the cornucopia too. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody that I
And
missed.
I think
So.
the Monopoly guy is one.
Oh, Mr. Peanut too,
Or whatever, yeah, the whatever that
right?
thing
The
is.
Yep. Monocule.
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't have one now.
Mm-hmm. LASIK.
Aaron 2 times. Okay, I'll give Aaron a second duck. I forgot Aaron last week, so which sucked because I was the one that won. I won last week, but because I forgot to put Aaron in, we had to re-race. All right, Aaron's got 2. That's it. How long do we want to run the race for, Adam? You can't say 420 seconds because that would take.
I know. I was gonna say 42.
We can do
half of that.
42
20,
seconds.
22. You could do 20 or 20. What? Don't matter.
No, we can do 42 seconds.
Add a little
Just
excitement.
not 420 seconds.
See who's got the lungs.
Set. All right, we're in. Does everybody like their costume? We got a couple naked ducks. Let's shuffle them up. All right. It looks like we only have one naked duck. Flyer's naked today. All right, guys. Good luck, everybody. Leon, you look just like your yourself this weekend. You're a little mermaid duck. All right, we got Leon in the lead. Aaron in the space outfit. Aaron number 1. Aaron side by side. Leon. 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 Leon's still pushing. The mermaids are swimming. Here comes KR. Here comes Aaron number 2. Haaga on top. Dennis. Haaga. Dennis. Haaga. Dennis, Haaga. All right. Look at that. It gave you a space duck.
This is green duck.
The Matrix is funny. A green with stars.
right? You know,
Haaga, that's almost back-to-back races. You won 3 weeks ago too, didn't you?
yeah, I was gonna say you should
Uh,
just. I was gonna say you should just. We consider it a good green duck victory, but if you rerun it and take me out if you want to, and I feel it's like doesn't
you're
seem
saying
right to be on the show and then win the thing and get. So I'm game for just run it again and take me out if you want, but.
all
It doesn't
right.
matter. I just
Haaga
don't. You know what I mean? Like I've been on the other side of it, and you'd be like, "Oh, like, I don't know." I just
All
don't.
right.
I
Haaga said rerun it. So here we go. Good luck for your second chance. Your second chance race.
it's a third chance.
Haaga, Aaron gave you 2 chances with 2 ducks to win.
That pink one though. Watch that. Keep an eye on that pink one.
Yeah, it's good. It's gonna be one of the back ducks. It usually is. Every once in a while, though, you get one. How did we switch? That's so funny. We switched costumes, and Leon is still the mermaid. Oh, here we go. Race. Leon's gonna pull it out.
Wow.
That was a good race. Leon was winning, and then took a break, and then came back and won.
It's kind of exciting when they're a little longer like that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Leon. Send me your text me your ETH address. Mermaids are so fast. Oh. All right, Leon, send me your ETH address. Make sure it's your EVM address. And I'll send you 1,000 IRA. All right, so we're playing poker. If you guys want to play, it is in the link. If you do not have the link and you want to play, you need to hit me up like ASAP. We're going to try to start in 5 minutes. I just sent it to the poker room. Adam, once again, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for popping on the show, coming and hanging out with me.
Fun.
You are always welcome, as always. Once again, no show next week unless somebody wants to take it. They can do it. Maybe Arborist will run it for us or something. But Orlando and AG's gonna be moving. So hey, we don't forget, Adam, we have fantasy football this week. So fantasy football, if you guys want to get in, then we have a couple spaces left.
Nice.
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday night. I think it's 7 o'clock your time, I think.
As long as I don't get the
we try to make it as best as we could for everybody.
First overall pick and end up picking McCarthy, and he goes on the injury reserve all freaking year.
You don't want. Well, you can always
did
trade
last
out.
year. That's what happened
sure
last year. I
would
got the first
rather have
overall
the
pick, and the guy I picked was hurt all year. So, but yeah, you gotta play cards. So you guys have good luck with that and have fun. But thanks for
yeah, that's how it works sometimes. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you all. We love y'all. Bye.